Good afternoon everyone. So today we will be looking at relays. So this one lets your fuel pump engage in your w124 series Mercedes Benz, also w126, w201, that kind of era for the second half of the 80s to mid 90s, around that sort of area. But this sort of stuff that I'm showing you today will work for pretty much all relays and electronics in a Mercedes-Benz car or other vehicles. Reason being we do this is because lead-free solder is used in manufacturing, but vibration, heat cycling and all that kind of stuff makes all the little joints in them crack over time after repeated use. And leaded solder, which you can tell on here, it has PB, which is the what is used to symbolize lead on the periodic table. So yeah, we use that stuff to go over all the joints. And what you do is you have one of these little solder suckers. I prefer these ones. You find out which one of the joints is bad by looking at it very closely. Sometimes you use a magnifying glass, and some have a little included light which helps. Or you can use your phone to take like a macro picture of it and zoom right in and get really close up pictures, and then put it on the big screen, which really helps as well. But yeah, so when you find which one's wrong, you get down right next to it, you heat it up with the soldering iron tip and you suck away all the bad solder, and then you replace it with the good solder. I recommend a soldering iron with the finest tip that you can find, which is usually on your slightly more expensive soldering irons. This one's a WER one, and I've had it being preheated for a while. And yeah, so this is my friend's one. He's already done the resoldering job down here, and his one now works in his car. So you can, and now I'll open the one that is faulty in another friend of mine's car. So we shall so you only just need like a little butter knife to do that, and then you do it on the other side and it pops right out just like that. So yeah, let's move the camera a little bit. You can see that they look almost exactly the same, but that's because they are pretty much exactly the same except for the part number, which just means this one is a little newer, although the cover's a little more worn. So yeah, I can't tell any physical difference in the design or the parts used on either one of these. So if you really want to, you could use this one and use your multimeter and start from one and then measure everything and then compare it to the one that's not working to get the exact reason why it's not functioning. But also a little trick you could do is if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere and you just need to get home, you can bridge pin number 30, not sure if it's showing up, pin number 30 with pin number 87, which is directly opposite it. It's stamped in the plastic. I'll see if it's visible on this one. Pin 30 and then pin 87. I'll get a little marker and mark them out, and I shall be back in a moment. Alright, so I'm back. What I've done is I've just tried to label what go over texture on the embossed marking. So pins 30 and pin 87, if you bridge those two pins, whether it be on this one here or you solder on the back where they meet up, or you actually put a piece of wire into these two pin receptacles inside of the car, you can actually still drive home. If you're absolutely stuck, that's a way that you can get home, by bridging those two pins to make the fuel pump work for an emergency use. It is not a permanent fix, so I don't recommend it, but if you are stuck in the desert and there's no one coming to help, that's a way you can get home. Now, I'll do one of these joints just to as a bit of a demonstration. I'm going to empty some of the old solder out. So yeah, it sucks up some of the solder, the useless solder. You squeeze it and it goes. So the moment you let it go. So this has been preheating for a little bit now. Going to, yeah. There we go. Heating up, it's soft. Now, there we go. As you can tell, it is on this one here that I just took about 90% of the solder off. So yeah, then what it is it's time to add in the leaded solder. Find the end. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera there. Yep. Make sure it's nice and free flowing. Don't heat up the part too much. And then you wait for it to solidify, which doesn't take very long at all. And you do that on whichever one you believe is broken. On his one, it was, a couple of these, and that was about it. Just one bad one. But or you can go through the entire part and do every single joint. But I did that, and it's non-functioning, so I need to redo it all over again. Remove the bad solder on every single joint, and then put some good solder on every single joint, and do it one by one, because if you take it all off, you might find that some of these parts fall through with all the connectors on it. So say for this resistor, if I desoldered that one and desoldered this one, the part might actually fall out, and and if that happens to a few of them, you might not know where they go to. So do one individual joint at a time if you decide to do the entire board. So yeah, if you look at pins 30 and 87 like that, how they're connected down there, and they go to the board, you can see that they are directly underneath. So it's this one and that one. I shall point to them with a pen. So it is this one here and that one there. So you could just bridge these two, permanently with a with solder joint if it was absolutely broken and you could not repair it, and you needed a temporary fix to last you a few days, a week, until you've ordered a new one, it comes in. You could do that if you really wanted to, but yeah, it's not a good idea. Anyways, I'll leave you to it. I'll get started on this, and next little bit, when I come back, you'll see at least partial done. Alright, enjoy. Alright, I thought I would add something little in with the soldering stuff. So pretend that one I've got my finger at now is the bad one. We need to add a little bit of leaded solder into it to lower the overall temperature of the lead-free solder, that it goes all liquidy. Then suck it all off completely and then replace it with the good leaded solder. So let's give that a try. So got my little suction guy here. Going to let it get all liquidy. Go. Yep, that pretty much done all of it. So you can probably tell that there's all that solder missing to get it in, and now we go. Get it warm there, and then apply solder as needed. Alright, so I'm back. Roomies are home if you're hearing some noise in the background, but yeah, I've done quite a few of these solder joins, and the difference is with the lead-free solder, the crappy stuff, they're always like a dull, very dull grey colour, and the leaded solder, if you get a good join on it, is always quite shiny. So yeah, hope that's been helpful, and I've probably got another 100 of these connections to do. So some are good with nice shiny ones there, and then there are some dull ones you can see around the place. So I'll get through them all and put it in the car, and hopefully all is well. Cheers guys, bye. Alright, so here we are again. I believe they're all shiny when you look at them from the different angles and whatnot. I've got them all done, I don't think I've missed any. So now it's time to take it to where my friend's car is and give it a try. Alright, I hope this has all been helpful, and maybe it'll help someone else. This is all the lead-free solder mixed with leaded solder to get it all off with the sucker thingy there. Make sure you have like a thin metal skewer or something like that, because this will get blocked up every about 10 little suction things that you do to get the solder out, and then yeah, get it out of there. Anyways, yeah, I hope this has been helpful, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.